Hello everyone, welcome back to our sessions. So today we are going to learn how we can create a launch chair. Okay, modeling a launch chair with a 3ds Max software. So for modeling a launch chair, what are the necessary modifier we are going to use today? So modifier we mainly using editable spline and as well as the editable poly. Okay, so we have to get a reference image or whatever the model you're going to create it. Okay, so we'll be using a reference model of the image. Then we'll be tracing that and we'll be start to create it with the editable spline. Okay, so we'll have a look how we have to start it. Okay, so you can see here, this is the model what we are going to create it. Okay, so make sure you have to be in a side elevation. Okay, after that, now in the create tab shapes, we have to select the line tool. Okay, so we selected the line tool, then with the help of line tool we have to start to trace the shapes here. So with the help of line tool, and when you're selecting the line tool, make sure you selected the corner to smooth option, because we can, wherever you want corner, where we require the smooth, that we can control it very easily. Okay, so we can easily select the first portion here. Then see, when you're creating the line, you can see the width is coming. So without thickness we want to create it, so the rendering, enabling render, enabling viewport, it has to be turned off. Okay, now we can click on the first line, then we have to click it and drag it here. See, when you click it and drag it, what will happen, that will become smooth. Okay, similarly click it and drag it here. So again click it and drag it here. There will be small troubles and do that we can correct it later on, and here also we have to click it and drag it. Similarly click it and drag it here. Then here I'm just clicking it and just click it and drag it here. Similarly I clicked here, then escape it. So after escaping, what we have to do, we have to click on the modifier, then we have to select the vertexes. Okay, so with the help of vertexes we can edit this one. How we can edit it, we have to select the each point, then you can resize it, I mean reposition it very correctly. Similarly this portion is almost fine. Okay, just with the help of repositioning that will comes proper. Okay, but here under the curves is not proper, right? So what we have to do, we have to right click and we have to apply the bezier option. Okay, so bezier we have to select it. So make sure you selected the vertex from here, then only we can select it here. Then we have to apply the bezier option. Then with the help of bezier you can make it proper here. Okay, now we arrange this portion. Similarly you can see here some wrong things has been happened, so right click and apply the bezier, and with the help of bezier again, see, we can control this portion, just reposition it. Similarly right click, apply the bezier, and see, like this way we can control it. Okay, so here it is a sharp corner. So if you apply the bezier directly here, what will happen, once you drag it here, you can see one side is getting affected, the other side also is getting affected. So if you're not able to control both sides accurately, you can see this has been changing the position. Okay, so both, if you want to control it properly, what we can do means you can go for the bezier corner. With the help of bezier corner, once you control one side, only that side will be get affected, other side separately you can control it. Okay, but what will happen means this portion will become a corner portion, it won't be a smooth. So if we want to get it smoothen means later on, what we can do, we can apply the fillet value here. Okay, so we can select this object, and if you want you can apply the fillet here. You can see you have to select the vertex option, and if you come over here down, so you will be finding the fillet option, so you can apply the fillet if you want to get smoother. Okay, like this way we can use it. Okay, so we apply the fillet here. Okay, and it's not really required it, or else if you want, if you after filleting, what you can do, you can just remove this vertex also, like we can delete it. And if you want, you can also control with the smooth option, and we can apply the bezier properly. Okay, so if you just control with this one, you can see almost it comes in the proper side only. Okay, we had to be in the side elevation only to visible properly. Then you can change the position, you can see almost it comes proper. Okay, slight variation and all is there, that we can also control it from this side also. We can also control it from here. You can see bezier, you can apply it, and you can just recurse it like this way. So you can see almost it's fine, right? Yeah. Okay, so after this one, now what we required, it means we have to apply the cross section. Okay, or else before applying the cross section modifier, we have to apply the shape below also. How we can apply that, we can click on the line tool, then we can start to create the downside part also. So when you're creating the downside part, just extend this portion, then start to create it. Okay, so just click it here, then wherever you have the connections, you can click it here and drag it. Similarly I clicked here and dragged it. Similarly I clicked here and dragged it, and just extend the portion and create it here. Press escape key. Then what we have to do means we have to use the vertex option. Then we have to attach this one. Okay, so first of all, just come over here, click on the attach option. This both line has to be attached. So click on the attach option. Now it is a single object. Okay, now what we have to do, select the spline and we have to come over here downside. Then you will be finding the option called trim option. Okay, so we can click on the trim portion, then we can trim this area. Similarly, we can trim this portion. Okay, make sure the vertex is connected with this one. Okay, so we trimmed it. Now after this one, what we have to do, we have to just control the portion again here, like the small variation is here. So that, and if you want to control it, what we can do, we can select the vertexes and you can just change the position. Changing the position, it's more than enough for here because it's already very accurately has been created. Okay, so after creating that, now what we have to do means we have to apply the thickness for this one. Okay, but we have created only one side, right? We have to get to the other side also. So for getting to the other side, we have to hold shift key, then you have to drag it towards the y direction. Okay, but you have to come out from the modifier, then you have to hold shift key, then you have to drag it to the y direction. When you drag into the y direction, you can see we took a copy by holding shift key. Then you can see the y direction, how much distance you want. Let it be 45 you want. Okay, so type here 45, it's minus 45 towards this direction. Okay, so you can see minus 45 is the width has been applied it. Okay, after this one, now we have to make a connections in between. Okay, like if I isolate this object, you can see properly. See, I selected this one and I isolated. Okay, once you isolate it, you can see this is the shape we created. Now we want in between the connection. How we can get the in between connection? We can select a object. First of all, we have to attach it. Okay, we didn't attach it, so we can click on the attach option and we have to attach this one. Then we have to click on the vertex. Then you have to make the cross section. Click on the cross section. Then select one vertex. Then click on the next vertex point. Now you can see it's created a connection here. Okay, so after creating the connection, now we have to get the thickness for this one. But before getting thickness, one more thing we have to notice it. You can see here the edge here, what they created, that is a type of a filleted portion, like there is a curvy area here. So that curves, if you want to get it here, what you have to do, we have to select this vertexes here. All the corner vertexes I'm selecting. This is a very sharp corner. We want to make it smooth here. So for that, first of all, we have to right click and you have to apply the weld vertices. Okay, and after applying the weld vertices, you can select this vertexes here. You can apply the fillet option. Come out here downside and apply the fillet value. Slightly only we record it. Okay, then come back to the line tool. Okay, and we record the thickness for this one. How we can get the thickness? Come on the rendering option, enable in render, enable in viewport. Okay, enable in render, enable in viewport. Now you can see we got a thickness for this object. Okay, so the frame has been created. Now if you want to change the color and all, you can just make it as a bit more convenient color. Okay, just let it be any colors, you can choose it from here. Okay, so we created this frame portion. Okay, now what we have to create, it means we have to create the seat portion over here. How we can create that? We can start with a box, or else you can also start with a plane and all. Okay, if you're creating a plane, first of all you have to create it from this side elevation. Okay, so come on the right side, then just select the geometry. In that we have to select the plane. Okay, so with the help of plane, we can just create a plane here. Then what we need, let it be any end portion you can place it. Let it be, I'm keeping in along x-axis, I just placed it here. Okay, make sure it's started from here, and we need the value as, let it be projected towards outside, right? Let it be, we can make it as a 48. Okay, so you can just place it exactly in the top view. You can have a look, you can see equally, you can place it here. Okay, after this one, come on the front view again. We have to convert this object as editable body. Okay, convert to editable body. Now with the help of vertexes, you can just make it as a shaded mode again. This is exactly starting from somewhere here. So I selected this first position here. Then you can see there is a small curve is happening, so it started here. Now what we are doing means we have to select the top edge only. Okay, make sure you selected the top edge. Okay, after this top edge, now if you hold shift and if you drag it, what will happen? That will be taking a copy, and we can adjust the position. Okay, so these steps we are going to do it in the side elevation. Okay, so come on the front elevation. Now we can hold shift key and drag it with the y axis, or else y and x together. Okay, now you can see we can easily start to create. We can keep on extrude it and we can go the same shape what you want. So we don't need a curve until here, so directly drag it up to here. Then here the curve is coming, so where the curve you're getting at the area, what you have to do, you have to hold shift key again, then create a new extrusion. Hold shift key, then keep on extrude the new surface like this. Okay, so once you reach on the again straight portion, what you can do, you can hold shift key, then directly drag it till here. Okay, now till here it's a straight portion, so we can easily create it like this way. Again the curve is coming, so what you have to do, again hold shift key, create a curve accordingly, almost proper we have to create it. Okay, like this way. Can make the projection till here. Okay, so we created the plane. You can see the plane has been created on the top. Okay, so that is we had seen from the side elevation. This is the top view. Now one more thing we have to check it, like, you know, just come over here, the thickness, it's feel like it's huge, right? So what we can do, we can just keep it as let it be 1.5 only, we record it. Okay, so we selected this one. Now what we need means this object we created, but this object, you know, that is a bit without thickness because we created with a plane. So we have to apply a modifier called shell modifier. So you can apply the shell modifier here. So we're getting some thickness for this one. So how much is the thickness you record it? According to that you can increase it. Let it be 2. Okay, I increase the thickness. After that what we can do, we can come back to modifier, or else we can also convert this object again as a double body, like convert to a double body again. Okay, and after that I'm doing like, see, selecting this object and selected the complete vertex edges from here. Okay, make sure you selected the edge, or else from here select the complete edge over here. Then what we have to do, right click and make a connections. Okay, I created the connection. Now we required two connection mainly. Then in between space I'm increasing, keep these connections almost towards the sides. Okay, what is the use means, after keeping this towards the sides, we can apply a modifier called mesh smooth modifier. If you want to get the mesh smooth, you have to type M here, then you will be getting mesh smooth. Okay, click on the mesh smooth. Now you can see this became smooth here. Okay, now to increase the smoothness, what you can do, you can increase the iteration value, so it will become more smoother. Okay, now after making it smooth, and you can see some portion and all it is not placed properly, right? So for making the proper placement, either you can come back to editable poly, or else in the mesh smooth itself you can select the vertexes, and see this vertexes, you can select it and you can just keep the position properly. Okay, so iteration value, just keep it less when you're working with that, because that may start to hang your works, and also if you decrease it, that will be better. Okay, later on we can modify it also. So just apply it here. Similarly you can just keep on control the position. Okay, now this area also we have to convert it like this way. Okay, so we created. After this one, now you can see seat object also we created, right? Now what we need means, basically we had missed one portion, this downside object. Select this line, select this spline. If you want to in between connection again, what we can do, we can select this object. Okay, so select this objects here. Okay, now come on the side elevation again. What we can do means, we can just start to create the downside portion, and also we have to create the cylinder also here. So for creating the cylinder, what we can do, easy thing, very easily we can create a cylinder here. In the sideways we can create a cylinder according to the convenient size, and we can place it here. Okay, extrude it. Now make sure the smoothness is proper. So for that, what we can do, we can increase the sides. Increase the sides, or else just keep it as a less sides also, because later on we'll be applying the turbo smooth ender. Okay, so just keep it as how much, let it be 8 and all the sides I had applied it. Then come on the front view again, almost keep it as wherever you record it. Okay, after that, now we have to convert this object as editable poly. Then we have to do one thing, we have to select the both sides polygon. Okay, both sides polygon I'm selecting, right click and apply the inset here. Okay, right click and apply the inset value. You can let it be this much is enough. Again right click and go for the insert here. Insert it like this way. Then you have to select this in between polygon. In between polygon you can select it. Okay, now this portion I'm keeping a bit towards inside, like you can apply the extrusion should be towards a bit inside like this way. Okay, so we created like this way. Then what we need means we have to select these edges, alt R for the ring selection, right click and make connection here. Just create a one connection here, keep it here. Similarly we are making smooth, so for getting the smoothness properly we have to keep it as instance also here. Okay, same way I'm controlling here also. We have to select this edge, alt R, right click and make connection. One connection has been created here. Then similarly selected the surface, right click and go for the inset option again. The previous value will be repeating, so you can just click here. Okay, so we had applied that. Now what we can do means here also we can apply the mesh smooth or turbo smooth and do. Okay, so I just apply the mesh smooth here. You can see that object has become smooth. If you press F3 or sorry F4, you can see this is the shape what we created. If you want, you can increase the iteration value, so you can see that it will become more smooth and like this way. Okay, so we created that portion also. Now again I'm come back to the front view. I'm just keeping this color as black. That will be looks better, right? Later on if you want to apply, you can apply. You have to apply the okay, let it be brown color. So later on if you want to apply the change the color means we have to apply the material. It's just a color only we are applying. Okay, so later on if you want the materials means we have to go with the material option with a V-ray or else mineral ray. If you are using, it's up to you. You can use it whatever the convenient thing you want. Okay, this is the shape we created. Now we are required to create the downside portion. How we can create that? For creating that we had to start with the line tool. Selected a line tool. Now we can easily start to create a line from here to here. See the enable inventory zone. So we have to turn off the thickness, then we have to create this portion. So just click on the line, create it here. Okay, so you can just keep it here as straight, hold shift key, then close this point. Okay, so we created like this way only. Now if you want to get it like a small curvy here means what you can do, you can apply the fillet here. Like you can select this vertices, then you can come over here downside, you can apply the fillet value slightly only we required it. Okay, so you can see that has become exactly the shape how they created. Okay, after that what we have to do, we have to apply the extrude modifier. We have to apply the extrude modifier in this one. You can see we filled with the surface inside. Then you can increase the thickness for this one. Let it be, I'm keeping it as 1.5 only. Okay, now this portion has to be placed, you know, a bit towards here, projected like this way, because this will be handled with the inside portion. So after that what we need means we have to take a copy towards here. We have to be in a side elevation. In the left view and you can come over here. Then you can hold shift key, you can get a copy towards here. We can do with the editable poly also and make sure it is instant, so copy you can do it. Okay, and make sure you're selecting this two object and to remove this selection you have to mirror this one. Go for the mirror option, which direction? X direction as a copy. Okay, click OK, then drag it towards here. Because why I took a copy means if is there any variation, see the height is not touching exactly, right? So the height variation is there. So this type of variation is there. This is the better way to do it. Okay, so what we can do, we can edit this one again. Delete one, select one. Then what we can do, we can select the vertexes, vertex points, make it as wireframe mode. Just keep this a bit more higher value, somewhere here. Then come back to the extrude modifier. Then what is this position has been placed, same way we have to copy this object towards here also. So we can just copy in Y direction as an instance. Then if you select this one, what is the Y position, you can check it. Let it be, copy this one, then same value we can apply it here also. Okay, so it will be placed exactly in the same position. Now after all this one, we are required to create a connections in between. So connections and all, with the help of editable poly also you can create it, or else if you want to very easily to create it, we have to go with the a box also you can create it. Like you can easily create a box, and you can create a box from here to here we can create it. Okay, you can see we created a connection, and you can just arrange the share size for that. Let it be 4, here also 4, sorry, the height I'm keeping it as 3. Okay, so apply the to be 2 is enough, keep it here. Okay, should not be projecting towards outside and all. It should be merged with this one. Just come on the top view, and the same object where you record it, the same position, you can copy towards here also. So we copy it towards here as well. Then what we have recorded, we forgot to hold shift key, so hold shift key while you're taking copy instance. Okay, now come on the side elevation, just click on the box. If you want, you can click on the auto grid. Click over here. We can start it from almost center view. Right view, a box we can create it on the center. Okay, then it has to be projected towards here actually. Okay, so keep it towards here, then with the help of move tool and all, you can just keep it towards inside. Okay, so we created that portion also completely. Okay, now one more thing, it's like, you know, the top there is a cylinder portion here, so we didn't create a cylinder portion, right? So we have to come over here. You can select one this two front side, we can just go for the height selection, so you can easily create a sphere and all, or a cylinder shape we can create it exactly where you record it. You can just touching with this one we want to create it. Okay, so with touching this portion we can create it till here. So you can just give this portion as height as 45, so that will be up to here only. After that we want to increase the smoothness and also what we can do, we can just increase the sides, then it will become smoother. Okay, so once again just control the position accurately. Okay, like this way. Now the radius we want it as, let it be 1.5. okay, come on the front view again, we have to copy the same object towards this portion also, then control the position, right click and unhide all. Now you can see the shape has been created. So even for this also we can just apply some color. You can hide this image after completing all this one. Okay, so you can see the object has been completely created. Okay, so after creating this one, now the shape has been created. If you do the rendering and all with the help of V-Ray materials and all, this looks will be better. Okay, so this is the creation with the help of, editable spline and with the help of editable polygon modeling. Okay, so that is the main two modifier which we have to use it to create the launch chair model. Okay, then so that's all. So I hope you guys understood the today's class. Okay, so we'll just want to know how's your reviews, and also if you have any doubts and if you're getting, you can upload in the comment section, so we'll be answering for that one. Okay, then we'll see you on the next week. Okay, then bye.